Welcome to Top 20 Network Administrator Interview Questions and Answers. Not only will this video prepare you for this specific interview, but will also provide free IT education. Before we start, I'd like to thank all people that became members on my channel. Thank you so much. It's much appreciated. And to all that have interview coming up, I wish you best of luck and let's get into it.
Can you tell us about yourself?
To answer this question properly, talk about your past experience in IT and stay away from irrelevant personal stuff. Stick to the facts about yourself because if you say something that's not true, the interviewer may follow up with questions that you can't answer. For example, if you say you have very good knowledge of working on a specific system and yet you may have some general knowledge, they may ask you a very technical question that you may not be able to answer.
What is a firewall?
Firewall prevents a connection between two or multiple sources. It basically blocks any incoming or outgoing traffic. Firewalls can be in software or hardware forms.
What is TCP/IP?
TCP is a transmission control protocol that deals with establishing a connection between computers before any data is being sent. In other words, it acts as the highway for data packets being sent back and forth used by various protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, or FTP. TCP also sorts out data packet receive order.
Can you explain the difference between HTTP and HTTPS?
HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, used by majority of websites that you use as means of transmitting website data, and it allows for use of hyperlinks. This protocol mostly uses TCP port 80. However, HTTPS is a secure version of HTTP that allows for identity verification and low-level encryption using TCP port 443.
What is a proxy or proxy server?
Proxy deals with filtering network traffic in a sense of preventing access to certain websites, and it can even monitor user web activity. To put it simply, it can block certain websites from being accessed, but can also act as a measure of hiding the true origin in point of access.
Can you explain what UDP is?
UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. Unlike TCP, UDP is constantly broadcasting a connection signal which can allow for faster connection speeds. With TCP, you have to wait for connection confirmation, which takes time. UDP sends out data without consideration of what is receiving it, sort of like radio signal.
What is the loopback IP address?
The loopback IP address is 127.0.0.1. As part of troubleshooting network connections issues, it is used to test network interface card for functionality. If you ping this IP address and it completes successfully, it means your hardware is okay.
What is DHCP?
DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. The main function of DHCP is to handle distribution of IP addresses on a network. IP addresses assigned by DHCP server are dynamic, meaning that they are leased and released dynamically. To explain it further, if you connect a PC to a network, it will get a leased IP address, and if you disconnect or move the PC, it will be assigned a different IP.
What is FTP and port used?
FTP is a file transfer protocol used to transfer large files between computers with built-in ability to pause transfer of data. Ports used by FTP are 20 and 21.
What is SSH and port used?
Also known as secure shell, is used to establish a secure connection between devices, which can be anything from computers to switches. For example, you can use SSH at a cafe and connect to any device anywhere by establishing a configured secure shell tunnel between two devices, making the connection secure. Port used is 22.
What is the maximum length of UTP cable allowed?
The maximum length of a UTP cable is 90 to 100 meters for a single segment connection. If you have a switch or a repeater, it can compensate for this limitation.
What are the layers of OSI model and how many?
There are 7 layers of OSI model: physical layer, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application.
What is the job of network layer?
The network layer deals with routing, switching, and transmitting of data from one point to another. But this layer is also responsible for error handling and packet sequencing.
Can you name different types of network cables?
For example, Cat5 runs at 100 megabits per second. Cat5e can run up to 1 gigabits a second. Cat6 can run up to 10 gigabits a second connection speeds. And these are some common types. All cables are limited to 100 meters distance in order to run at optimum speed.
What is a subnet mask?
Subnet mask dictates the size of a network and also tells which part of the subnet our host IP address belongs to. Basically, you can have multiple subnetworks for a given IP address range.
Can you tell me the difference between a workgroup and a domain?
With a workgroup, you have a collection of systems that are connected to the same network, but have their own set of rules and permissions set at local level. With a domain, you have a group of systems that are bound by the rules of centralized authentication server. In a domain, each system has to connect through the domain server using provided credentials.
How would you determine connection passed between a local host and a server?
A trace RT command is used to accomplish this test, similar to ping command with addition of letting us visualize which routers or switches are used to connect in reaching of our destination. This is used for troubleshooting dead connections.
Can you explain ipconfig?
ipconfig command is used to determine TCP IP settings, DHCP configuration, DNS, default gateway, and subnet mask. It can also be used to change local DHCP settings, for example, ipconfig/release and /renew.
What is VPN?
A virtual private network allows users to create a secure connection over public networks such as internet. This is commonly used by mobile workers in order to access companies' network from a remote location.
Why should we hire you?
Just as important as the very first question on this list, this is your last chance to tell this employer why you are the best choice for this position. You should talk about your experience and how you could use that to benefit the company. Don't be afraid to exalt yourself without coming off as egocentric. Just be polite and smile. As bonus advice, before you go for an interview, make sure you do your research about the company you have interviewed with. The main reason for this is multiple interviews in which one of them may be with human resources. And I have videos for that as well if you'd like to check them out. Truth be told, there are countless questions that you may come across, and it's almost impossible to know which ones will show up during an interview. I hope this guide gives you the confidence you may need in order to get this awesome job. And you should also make sure that you study other material related to this type of position. My channel, youtube.com/Kobuman, has quite a few resources to help you even further with your chances when it comes to getting this job. Good luck to you all and have a wonderful day. And for those who are still here waiting for that bonus material to study from to even further increase their chances, check out my channel and I will post links in the description for you as well. I have a lot of interview questions and answers videos that I've been making since 2016. Even this video itself is based off my video from then and an article that I have on my website called cosmicnovo.com. I will provide the links to the article and other study material that you can learn from in the description and, if possible, pop up in this video as well. I wish you best of luck and take care.